Today is Saturday, the 20th of April 2024, and we are gathered here for the 129th session on mindfulness for beginners, conducted in the English medium by the Nissarana Forest Monastery of Sri Lanka. And to our great fortune, today we have Venerable Sister Rohini joining us into today's session in place of Venerable Bhante Homagama Dhamma Kusala Thero, as he is busy on other tasks in today's date. Therefore, I would like to welcome Venerable Manu to today's session on behalf of all of us joining through Zoom and also through the live stream over Facebook. I would also like to welcome all of you who are joining through Zoom and Facebook live stream to today's session. Our program will commence with in-session practice guided by Venerable Manu, and then we will proceed on to the talk on mindfulness, and then the question and answer session where we present written reports and verbal questions or reports to Venerable Manu for advice. So without further ado, I will like to invite Venerable Manu to commence with the in-session practice for today. Over to Manu. Thank you.
Thank you, Namanta. Yes, hello everyone. So at the beginning, we will do some practice. So today I think it is walking practice. So we all do the practice. So what we're going to do, we need to find a place to walk without any distractions. So if there's distraction, that will not helpful for the meditation, for the mindfulness practice. So without any distraction, if you can find a place, so what we are going to do, we're going to walk from end to end, where we choose to walk. So in there, please remember the walking pace or walking speed. We should not determine, or we should not think that okay, I am going to walk slowly, or I am going to walk speedy, or the about the speed. We should not determine, or we should not have any permanent thing, or determination. Yes. So what you are going to do, you need to allow your body to decide the pace, decide the speed. So according to that speed, you can walk. While you are walking, you need to observe the body, how your body move while you are walking. So many things you can observe. One thing is the feelings. How you feel the surface where you walk. Maybe it is a carpet or tile area, or just a cement, or a natural place, where it depends on where you are. So, but wherever you are, so you can observe the feeling. So you can observe the posture while you are walking, how you feel. So sometimes maybe you can feel the breeze. So when there's a breeze, you can feel it. So likewise, there's no any right or wrong. It depends on what you feel. It depends on what you are facing right now. And what you need to do is, you need to keep your mind, your thoughts away from other things, just to observe your body. Just to observe the posture, just to observe the feelings comes through your body while you are walking. So this is what we are going to do. By saying that our topic is laziness, so I will invite you all to be lazy while you are walking. That means do nothing, just walk. And while you are walking, without any effortless walk, and just observe the walk. So shall we do our practice for maybe 10-15 minutes?
Yes, 15 minutes would be the duration, or 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so I will ring the bell, then we can get back. So I hope there is no any question about the walking meditation or the sakmana. If there is no any question, so we can proceed. Okay, everyone. I hope you all done the walking practice. So over to you, Namanta.
Much merits Venerable Manu for the guided practice session. Next, we have the talk on mindfulness scheduled for today. I would like to invite Venerable Manu again on behalf of all of us to commence with the talk. Over to Manu. Thank you. Much merits.
Thank you, Namanta. Hello, everyone. Today our topic is enlightenment through laziness. That is our topic today. So, actually, this is a very contradictory topic. When you see the topic at a glance, it is a very contradictory one. Enlightenment through the laziness. So, but all of you, maybe most of you already listened to the Bante's talk last week, so you know what we are talking about. Anyway, today I'm going to discuss little more, or same thing maybe, but again, so that will have a kind of good knowledge or proper understanding what we are talking about with this topic. The laziness. Usually laziness by people says it is a negative, very negative thing. Simply the lay person has no any ambitions, or any lazy person has no any ambitions or any drive to live in this world. So that is what we think usually, the laziness as a negative one, very negative one. So, but in this, our topic says enlightenment through laziness. So this, what kind of enlightenment and through laziness we can achieve? What kind of laziness is we are talking about? This is a very interesting one. Because this challenge the conventional understanding. So we have usually, we know that if we are talking about a lazy person, if we are talking about the laziness, that means that person is do nothing, really do nothing, or not a proper person fulfilling his responsibility, her responsibility. So that is what we talk when we talk about the laziness. Just imagine when we woke up early in the morning, we have lots of thoughts to do this, do that, and planning and all sort of things. So we have very busy with the flooding thoughts, and then we know what we going to do. We have a lot of plans to do within 24 hours. Usually not less than 24 hours, because we sleep usually 6-8 hours. So within that 10-15 hours, we have lots of things to do. So when we wake up, usually we have that knowledge. So what we are going to do, we are going to do shopping, or we are going to work, or we are going to stay at home with children, or there's a lot of things. But with this topic, that conventional understanding, that we think that as a laziness as a negative one. So in here, the conventional understanding, we need to challenge why this enlightenment through laziness is going to happen as a topic for us. Because sometimes we can feel that, okay, this may be this concept offers some kind of perspective on attaining mental clarity or mental comprehension, or whatever we are achieve as an enlightened person, or walking the way on to the enlightenment. So we have that kind of perspective. We need to have that attaining mental clarity, or comprehension. So this is a kind of concept. We can think like in that way. So that means there is a relationship between inaction. Otherwise, we are not working anything. We are not doing anything, or we are being a lazy person, and there should be a profound insight we can achieve. So there should be a relationship between inaction or laziness and profound insight. So that means maybe while we are doing nothing, or while we behave as like a lazy person, that the process, what we are as a person, we have a lot of process, ongoing process. So maybe that process is slowing down. So that process, when the process is slowing down, that can embrace the tranquility. That can happen. So maybe they are thinking, or maybe they are they mention here about this relationship, the slowing down and the embracing the tranquility, or embracing the insight, or profound insight. So what is happening here, when we create, or when we give a space to reflect or observe, or otherwise to connect with our inner thoughts or emotions, then we give ourselves some kind of slowness, or some kind of inaction, or some kind of productive laziness is there. When we allow a room, or when we allow ourselves to have a space to reflect, create a room for connection with our inner thoughts and inner emotions, then we can achieve, or we can clarify, or we can have a clarity of mind. So maybe that is the reason they have a link, or they talk about a link through laziness become an enlightened one. The other thing we can think of, the productive laziness, is not something we are neglecting. The productive laziness, that we are not talking about the negative one. There should be a productive one. That is why the topic is there. So if there is a productive laziness, so that means it is not neglecting something responsible. It is not neglecting something we should do. So then there should be something else. So what we need to think, what we can imagine, this kind of laziness is maybe transforms into a form of mindfulness. So when we are mindful, what is happening, we are mindful. We are fully aware of what is happening right now. So when someone is fully aware of what is happening around us, or within us, that individual is fully engaged in the present moment. So when someone is fully engaged with the present moment, that means that person can't do anything. If someone is fully engaged with the present moment, that means you are engaged with that present moment. So you are not thinking of the past. You are not thinking of the present, future. You are not thinking of someone else. You are not thinking of some place. While you are sitting here, you are observing yourself. You are very alert about what is happening around you. That means you are fully mindful. When you are very, very mindful, or when you are having engaged, or when you have that fully engagement with the present moment, that means you are very lazy. Very lazy, because it is so relaxed. Usually people think people looking for relaxation techniques, relaxing books to read or relaxation method. And in other way, the enlightenment also, usually people think it is a very hard thing to achieve and it is very hard procedure. We have to do lot of things. We have to follow a lot of things. We have to learn a lot of things. That is what we learn. That is what we traditionally we know. But usually, if you are mindful, what is happening is you do nothing. If you are mindful, you can't do anything. So, for example, while you are walking, if you are mindful, just before we start to walk, for 15-20 minutes we walk. So if you are mindful on about your feet or any movement happening while you are walking, then you can't think of anything else or you can't do anything else. So then that means you are doing a laziness. That is a kind of positive laziness. So if we redefine that laziness as a mindfulness, then we are not wasting time and it is an alternative route to enlightenment. So we need to redefine the laziness as the mindfulness. So in here, we will look back to our practice. So I think it is a good idea to look back our practice. So we have a lot of work. We have plenty of work to do. Many requests to fulfill. So what we are doing, so just before we have a lot of work and we have many plans to fulfill, many plans to do, but just before we start to walk, mindful walk, or sometimes we sit quietly in one place, ignoring everything else. So what we are doing, we sit and we just ignore all other things, all other work, all other things to do. We ignore those things and just be mindful. Just try to be mindful. This is a kind of laziness because you have a lot of work to do, but you are doing nothing but sitting down. Now you are observing while you are sitting in a sitting posture, you are observing either the posture or the breath. While you are observing it, you are an observer doing nothing else. So while you are sitting, your mind suggests lot of things. Plenty of planning, plenty of suggestions are there. But what you do? You continue to be lazy. Continue to ignore those suggestions. So the suggestions comes through ears, suggestions comes through the nose, suggestions comes through the bodily pain, and lot of thoughts are coming through. But what you do, you ignore all and just focus on the breath or just focus on the posture. So while you are doing, you are just an observer, do nothing. So instead, if you focus on what you see, or if you focus on what you hear, or if you focus on bodily pain and thoughts, so you will entangle with all those things. So when you are entangled with those things, you are busy, very busy. So when you are busy, we can't say you are lazy. But if you are mindful, if you are sitting mindfully, if you are observing the breath or if you are observing the posture, then you do nothing. You don't take any response or you don't keep any suggestions or any feelings through our 6 doors, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, or the body or the mind. So when you are not doing nothing, when you do not take anything through those doors, that means you are being a lazy one. According to the normal people or normal, normal people says so. If you don't do anything, that means you are lazy. But when you are sitting, if you are mindful, that is what happened. So when the mind proposed that now it is enough. So you are sitting now, sitting mindfully, and sometimes your mind proposes, okay, now it is enough, so you can stand up. So it says so. So if you are lazy enough to not to listen to that suggestion, then you will continue to sit. You will not stand up. So what if you stand up, you break the laziness. But if you not but if you are not listening to those suggestions, then that means you are being lazy. That is the positive laziness. And your mind has lots of opinions, suggestions, recommendations. So I mean, while you are sitting, you are observing your breath, you are observing the posture, but your mind suggests a lot of things. There are a lot of recommendations. So sometimes the mind advises, okay, you can investigate what is happening now. So mind says sometimes like that. It encourages you to investigate. Okay, the breath is now not seeing. So no longer you can feel the breath. So investigate it. What is happening? So likewise, the mind suggests, mind recommend, or mind give advice on your current experience while you are sitting. But if you can sit and ignore those suggestions, you are a lazy person. By new definition though, by new definition of laziness. Just imagine at your office or at home or at any social gatherings, people talking about all sort of things, gossips and the things happening in the countries and the wars and all those things. They are talking about those things. Maybe you too have ideas to throw. Just imagine, you too have ideas to throw. But if you can be a lazy person in there, and lazy enough to not to throw them out, lazy enough to not to throw your ideas out, what will be the outcome? So if you are being lazy in there, in a social gatherings or even at a office canteen or somewhere, whatever the happening in there, if there's a lot of people, if there are many people are talking about the war, about the presidents, or about the prime minister, about Sri Lanka, or whatever they are talking about, you might have ideas, you might have some things to tell. But if you not talk about these things, if you hide them inside you without talking them, what can you imagine? What will happen? Do you think you can have a peaceful mental condition if you are not throwing those things away? If you keep quiet, if you being a lazy person in there, try it. So if you try it, try to be a lazy person among the gossip talking people, among those useless things talking people. So try to be lazy person among those people. So then you will realize, then you will understand how beneficial this laziness is. And the other thing is sometimes in offices, you might get conflicts. There are kind of conflicts of interest will happen even within home, inside the home, at schools or at working place, in the office. That can happen. So when that happen, your mind gives you thousands of ideas to prove yourself or disprove the other one. There are plenty of ideas coming, actually flooding, to disprove the other one or to prove yourself. But if you can act like a lazy person without saying those ideas, so I think you are one step close to the enlightenment. Even you know by now, as a mindfulness practitioners, when those things happen, if you can be mindful and if you are mindful, you are going to be a lazy person. If you do nothing, do not say anything, so that means you are going to be a lazy person. If you are going to be a lazy person in this situation, that kind of situation, you are one step closer to the enlightenment. And some other places I can imagine that sometimes we go for holidays, we go for trips, we have get-togethers, we have some musical shows, or to watch the dramas, many sort of things. If someone is inviting you to go for those things, so shall we go? Or if there's any invitation, if you can be a lazy person, that okay, I am not going to go and I will be at home. Maybe I can sit for 1 hour for sitting meditation or mindful sitting. I can practice so. So if you are thinking like that way, so if you are not going with them, so that is a kind of laziness also. But it's a positive laziness. If you avoid going those kind of things, if you can avoid those things, then again I can say you are one step closer to the enlightenment. Simply by lazing, what I want to say, simply by being lazy person, it usually encourages mental and emotional relaxation. If you are not engaged with those things, if you are not engaged with your thoughts, the chain of thoughts, then you have a naturally mental and emotional relaxation is there. You can understand it and you can touch it, you can feel it, that the mental and emotional relaxation while you are being lazy with those things, without entangled with those things. And also, if you are simply being lazy person, so you can develop deep sense of self-awareness. When you are lazy, when you are doing not thinking, or when you are not entangled with thoughts, when you are not entangled with the bodily pains, when you are not entangled with what you see, when you are not entangled with what you are hear, then you can have a deeper sense of self-awareness. So you just observe only about you. What is happening around you? What is happening within you? So when you are doing that, you're a very lazy person, but you have kind of a good self-awareness. Is same way, the value of simple being, you can understand. You can understand how it value being a simple person, a simple being. Also, it disengage from goals, achievements, constant busyness. We all are very busy. So if you are being a lazy person, then you can stop, you can disengage or stop engaging with all sort of goals, achievements and constant busyness. I am not saying that as a lay person you need to have goals, you need to have achievements, you need to do things. I am not talking about that. But if we are gradually reduce those things, if you are gradually being a lazy person, in some areas, in some times, then you will understand and you will feel that emotional relaxation, the mental relaxation. So in that way, you will learn how to live in a harmonious way, harmony with world, harmonious way with the neighbor, harmonious way how to live with the harmony with your co-worker, how to live with your family. So all those things you can learn by being lazy, by being mindful. When you are mindful, you are a lazy person within that period. Again, you will do lot of things. Again, you will entangle with those things coming through your eyes, ears, nose, and tongues, and the body and the mind. So you will very busy with your other works, and you will very busy with other people and the children or the neighbors or relatives. It doesn't matter. But while you are practicing mindfulness is like a laziness. So the positive laziness is equal to the mindfulness. If you are mindful, then you are being at that time. Maybe it is a very short time, maybe 1 hour, maybe 30 minutes, whatever the time. During that time, you are being a lazy person. When you are being a lazy person, that means you are very free from emotional and mental conflicts. Even in the workplace, even at home, even in the road, even in the bus. So if you can be a mindful person, that means you are lazy, you are not entangled with other people, and you are not entangled with your own thoughts. So to find the enlightenment, so you need to be in the present moment. If you are in the present moment, you are like a lazy person. So saying that, I would like to sum up my talk. So I hope everyone will have that lazy time and increase that lazy time in your lifetime. Thank you, Namanta. Over to you.
Thank you, and many thanks to Venerable Manuel. And we will next move on to the question and answer session. And I would like to invite invite Lushani to commence with the session. Over to you, Lushani. Thank you. I will share the screen for the beginners slides.
Thank you, Namanta, and thank you, Venerable Rohini, for that very enlightening talk. So before we start with the reports and Q&A, just a quick reminder for anyone new joining the session. This is all about the practice, and as Namanta has shared, and he will also put it in the chat line, you should endeavor to start a daily practice of mindful walking and mindful sitting. And as you can see, we have 2 YouTube videos for you to watch and get some guidelines from on how to start the practice and how to practice throughout the day. It will be good to start or allocate a small time daily to practicing the mindfulness with the walking and the sitting. So it's always good to do both. At least do one if you don't have the time. It's good to start with a few minutes and then up to like 1 hour. So a total of 2 hours for each practice. Then you can write down your experiences in a reflection report. You'll see, like, I will read the report soon after. And then you can also ask questions from Bhante or Venerable Rohini when they present in the sessions. So it's a really useful one. You can note down sort of what you feel, what you experience, and describing any prominent sensations while walking or what you notice during your sitting practices, and ask questions. You can send these reports to us through Google Forms or through email. Again, those links are there in the group chat. And it's just a matter of doing the practice, which is really important. So continue to do the practice. That's the most important thing as a practitioner. So as having said that, we can go to the reports. Venerable Rohini, there's just only one report for today. I will read the report now. Mindful walking. Walked on pavement at a fast pace with a friend. Noted feet, movements, shifting of weight, contact of cool breeze on face and hands. Mind more alert as was in a foreign country. The friend would speak occasionally and was able to respond appropriately, and awareness returned to sensations of walking again. Walked for 35 minutes. Mindful sitting. Sat on a cushion in a comfortable position when breath noticed around the nostril area. It was prominent, although this slowly changed and became subtle. Thoughts appeared and disappeared. Some pressure noted in the body, but could not say if it was a left leg, right leg, or surrounding area. Light breath noted. Sounds heard nearby, then focus returned to subtle breath. Calmness experience. Sat for 45 minutes. Mindfulness during the day. Was away last week with a friend visiting a foreign country. Knew there would be little opportunity for formal practice during travels. However, noted the breath and the standing body while waiting to cross the road or when sitting in the tram. Naturally, the alertness was higher in unfamiliar territory, but there was also quiet confidence in being able to explore the areas and returning to hotel without too many detours. On reflection, there's a tendency in the mind towards being aware and calmness. For example, looking for the wallet inside handbag and not finding it. Instead of anxiety or panic, the calm reassurance continued in mind. Stop where we were and slowly check the bag, and it was found in a different part of the bag. It was a good test of the mindfulness practice. There were many occasions during last week when mindfulness arose, such as when taking a shower, noted the feel of warm water in contact with body, when having a cup of tea, how the hand was holding the handle, taste of the tea, and swallowing motion. It is like the inner world is noticed more and the external world is losing its hold and interest. Dear Venerable, look forward to your valuable feedback. Much merit to you and the organizers. Thero.
Thank you, Lusani. Very interesting actually very interesting report, because it is very related to our topic. Because the last part is she or he describing that the external world is not now losing, only the internal things. So when you lose, how you lose your external things, that because you are being lazy, because you are being mindful, or you are being aware about you only. You are being aware about yourself, or what is happening around you, what is happening within you. So not the other things, not about the other people, not about the other places. So when you practice like that, what is happened when you come inside to yourself, intro, not the extro. So you are becoming an introvert person. That means you are aware about yourself. That means you know what is happening within you, inside you, and that the calmness is there because you are not entangled with lot of thoughts, you are not entangled with the other people or other places or other things. So you are fully aware of what is happening and what are you doing right now. So the mindfulness is there. So when you are mindful, you are not entangled with those things. So when you are not entangled with those things, that means your the mental and emotional relaxation is there. When you have mental and emotional relaxation, then you actually, I will ask a question from all of you. So when most of the time, when we are busy or when we are not emotionally or mentally relaxed, that is because of someone else, or that because of something else, or that because of somewhere else. If you are entangled with external world, if you are entangled with some other people, even within the family, then you are very excited. Then you are not relaxed, because it is always engaged with some kind of thoughts and some kind of conflicts. Most of the time, things are not happening according to your wish. Things are not happening according to your desire. Nothing is happening accordingly. So when that is not happening, when that is the truth, then you are not relaxed. When you are not relaxed, that means you don't have self-awareness. You are very entangled with other things. So that means you are very busy. So if you are busy, you are not lazy. If you are not busy, you are not mindful. So if you are not mindful, that means you are very emotionally not relaxed, not very emotionally entangled with those. So in this report, it says that even though in a foreign country, that person is trying to practice the mindfulness while walking or while doing day-to-day activities or something, and she or he felt it thoroughly and experienced it herself or himself. So that means doing good, even in the new place, even in foreign country. So if someone can practice, if someone can willing to practice, that is a good thing. That is a very, very positive thing. So continuous like that, please, and write report again with your progress.
Thank you, Venerable, for that very good guidance. So now we can open for Q&A. So any questions, please raise your Zoom hand. And now Mantha will give you access to unmute, and then you can ask your question. Anyone has any questions? Venerable, it looks like there aren't any questions today. Because I think it was very clear what you said, so I can see that there are no questions. Just give another few seconds, otherwise we can, I think, end the session early and spend the rest of the time being very lazy. Oh, there is a question. Hiranti, please go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you, Bhante, for the wonderful talk. I just want to ask, are you saying that every time there is something, to be quiet is the solution?
Sorry, I will ask again.
No, when there is, when there is something like disagreement, or when you don't agree, is it the best way to keep quiet and leave it to evolve itself, or?
For my advice, according to my experience also, if you can keep quiet without any grudge inside you, without leaving any grudge inside you, without leaving any arrows or any hatred feeling inside you, that is the best thing. But if you have that kind of, sometimes we ladies, what they do, especially when they deal with the family. If there's something happen, what they do, they take all the, how do you call it? Okay, this is happened because of me. Okay, this is happened. They take all the blames towards them. So that is what they do. So that means if you keep quiet with that feeling, that is not good. Because that is like a brick. So you later on, what you do, you build wall with the bricks. So one brick at one time, and then you lay it on the floor, and then there's something else happen, then the next brick comes on top of that, on top of the first one, and the third one come on top of the second one. Like that, you ladies usually build a brick wall. That is so harmful. So if you can ignore, if you can keep quiet without having that kind of blame towards you, the things happen. Sometimes you can't stop. You can't change all other people around you. Even your children, you can't change. You can ask them, but you don't expect them to change. They will not. You can guide them without having any expectations. Then there's no grudges. So when something happens, you need to understand that things happen around you, things happen with most of the time. You can't stop. Just imagine when you are sitting, when you're practicing sitting meditation or mindful sitting, can you keep control of your mind? No, you can't. It is so hard because the mind is like that. So if your mind is like that, how about your children? How about your husband or wife? Or how about your co-workers? How about your neighbors? All the people are like that. They can't control their mind. It is same like you. It is same like yours. So if you expect someone will change, or if you expect things will change, things will change. Sometimes it will change. But don't expect. When you expect, that is a disappointment is there. That means you always not in a relaxed mode. You always struggling with your mind. So my answer is, if you can give up or let go without any grudge inside you, without blaming yourself, then let go. Otherwise, talk nicely. Usually we advise without having negative talk, just come with the positive one. We usually says, okay, you always like this. You will, you'll never change. And, we have some sort of wording, so some sort of words. We usually use those words. Those are the negative words. So when you have argument or when you have conflicts to solve, please use all the positive words. Okay, you are a very good person. You have this kind of, positive qualities. But sometimes I hurt when you do this. Instead of you are this kind of person, I don't like that. Instead of saying those words, you can say, okay, you have those kind of positive things. But when you do that kind of thing, it is hurting me. So the wording is the thing. So
I was thinking of two. Sorry.
Yeah, please.
I was thinking of two situations where I kept quiet and the person came back as if acted normally. So I was quite pleased because I didn't chase after him. But in some situations, like your near and dear ones, they keep on doing the same mistake because they are so unmindful, and that causes a lot of aggro in me. And I say, I think it is merely due to them not being mindful, and also some people don't really think of the other person's difficulties, so they keep on doing the same mistake over and over again, not thinking, not trying to be, hurt or anything, but merely to. So we just have to tolerate individuals in their own way, I think. Is that right?
Yeah. All the people can't be lazy. It is a technique. It is an art. So maybe most of people can be lazy in a normal way, do nothing or something like that. But we are talking about laziness as laziness. Most people can't do that. So the people who are doing that will understand more and more about the other people. That understanding leads you. That understanding helps you to behave with others. So that is the only thing we can, So even in, as a monks or nuns, they are also a kind of, group of people coming through the same society. So even those are not easy. Not perfect, not easy. Yeah, they also has that busyness in within their mind. Inside the mind, the busyness is there, not the laziness. So
I find it easy to get on with people who are practitioners.
Definitely.
Yeah, but not with the people who are not practicing really. So they tend to think of themselves only in a very selfish manner.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante. Thero Saranai.
Thero Saranai.
Thank you, Hiranti, for that very thought-provoking question. Anyone else has questions for Venerable? Yes, Namanta?
Thank you, Lushani. Much thanks to you. Venerable Manu, now you mentioned laziness, and I am one of those people who can be extremely lazy. How do you control and how do you know it's too much laziness? It's like a very tough position for me because sometimes I can be very, very lazy, so too lazy. So how do you control? Because you can't be lazy like that. You have to be into action to some degree, some basic degree. So how do you maintain that level?
If I understand your question, that means you are, as a practitioner, you have that laziness. You don't like to engage with other people and so on. But you have to do that in social situations and in working situations. Is that what you mean?
Not really engaging, like talking with other people for me is not a problem at all. I always talk with a certain group of people in all like parts of my life. Even strangers I can talk to. There's nothing like that. I mean, if somebody is trying to put me down or anything, then I usually get very angry and either show my reaction on the spot or just avoid them completely. I am quite capable of those things. In that extreme, it's not much of a problem. And I don't keep thinking about those. I just move away quickly and go to my own shelter quickly. But the laziness I feel is laziness related to action. Like I can sit on a chair and just sit there without thinking much, without doing anything for a long time. But I feel this is like uh, not too sensible thing to do. There has to be some sort of a better control, but I'm still not quite able to get that control back. Like it's like I have lesser control over what I do than before. So something like that.
Okay. You heard about the autistic.
Yes, something similar. It matches
Yes.
that autism trait as well.
Yeah. So what is the Manori Senanayaka, who is she? Pediatrician, professor of some kind from the Colombo Medical Faculty. I think she's now a very old lady, but she suggests to our Loko Swamin answer that autistic characteristics merge from the practitioner, because they don't want to do things and they prefer to sit in somewhere and be a quiet or be a solitary person. It is a quite normal, Namanta. So when you practice more and more, you will get that release from that feeling. So it is not a permanent thing, according to my understanding. It is, while we walk in a lane, we met many people. We see many things, but they pass. They pass while we walk. We meet people. We see things. We hear things. But when we walk through the lane more and more, so that means you are passing them also. So whatever comes right now, it will pass. So what you need to do, you need to practice without thinking that, okay, there's something, okay, it will go. Definitely it will go. Then you will find you are a very active person. Look our Logoswami Nancy. Now he is 73 years old and behave like a child.
Yes.
So he's so
I have
active.
observed him. Like he's a miracle compared to the normal situation. I think. Yeah, he's like an extreme example. Like he's a miracle of a person. So I observed him with the same intention as you just now that you indicated. Yeah, his source of energy I cannot understand. It's different thing altogether.
And look at our Bante Kusala, Dhamma Kusala Thero. He's also like that. During the weekend, he had, I don't know what kind of work he is doing. So he's so busy with work. But what I want to say, it will pass. It will not stuck all the time. But you need to do practice more and more. While you are doing practice more and more, then you can pass. Then that means you are going forward in the lane.
Okay.
So
Okay.
then you will pass.
Yes, I will keep it in mind and try. Yeah.
Not to worry. If you worry, that means whenever you worry about your practice or whatever is happening, then that will stuck with you. If you don't worry, it will pass soon.
Because the worrying will take more capacity of your mind.
More time. It will take more time to pass.
Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you and much very Venerable Manu. Thank you.
Thero Nissarana.
Thank you, Namanta, for that valuable question. Just on that, Venerable, I think what you said when you were doing the talk is also like this laziness is applicable. It's mostly to the mind, isn't it? We're talking about the mind. So, and you mentioned that word, like not to get entangled. So I think that busyness of the mind comes with getting entangled with situations. So when Namanta, that valuable question you asked about sort of that laziness is the definition is the mind. That's relaxing the mind, isn't it, Venerable?
Yes. The laziness in the mind. It's not entangled with things.
So it's not about the like you
physical
said,
thing,
sitting down and physical laziness.
No. So if you are mindful while you are doing things, like that report says, while she is having bath and she was mindful and so on. Yeah. So when you are mindful while you are doing some works, also it is slow down and you are so efficient in that sense because your mind is clear.
Yeah. So it's basically like when when you're not having that craving or anger arising in your mind, when you're not getting entangled with anything, just seeing things as they are, and not getting that entangling, that is where that laziness, that calmness, the relaxation comes in. It's that mental laziness, isn't it?
Yeah, ideal.
Okay. I can see Samantha has also raised her hand. Samantha, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Dashani. Just a quick question, Venerable. I was just thinking, it sounds quite nice, to be laziness and have a lazy mind, and it's so peaceful. But when I was thinking about it, in reality, it's the opposite for me. I had to make more of an effort to be mindful and stop my mental proliferation. I mean, when I think about it, the mind is my worst enemy, I suppose, because there's no peace. It's just, it just drives me crazy. And by being mindful, as you said, Venerable, it's you're focused and there's peace. Sometimes when I'm washing a mundane thing like washing my dishes, I now like it because from from other stuff, if I'm doing stuff, and then without getting embroiled in all this, whatever, watching the news, and that's really, at the moment, the news is just horrible. It's really thinking. So I just go and do wash the dishes, and I find that very peaceful and therapeutic. So would that be, even though in the mind you had to really make an effort really to gain that peace?
Not really. If you put, there should be a right effort, yes, but not much effort. So when you put more effort, or when you are trying to focus very hard, and when you punish your mind with blames, that is like, usually I say, if there is a stubborn child, a stubborn boy, just imagine the boy is coming home around 12 o'clock in the midnight. So when that happen, what the parents usually do? So they scold him, or anything and everything they will do to punish. What is happening next? The boy is usually stubborn one, so they get more and more stubborn, because they don't want to listen, because the stubborn boys are like that. So if the parents accept him and asking, are you tired? Do you want to have a cup of tea? What you like to do? And like that patting. If you do that, he will come at least 5 minutes earlier than today. The next day he will come 10 minutes earlier than today. So that is the same way our mind behave. So when we blame to our mind, and when we scold, or when we have that negative feelings towards my mind, not the others. So his mind is like that, and my mind is like that. So I can't control it at all, and there's no any mindfulness at all. Those kind of self-blaming things will not support at all to mindfulness practice. If something happened, maybe one day it is all calm and quiet, and you can practice mindfulness very deep, and you can practice it for a half an hour, 1 hour, so on. But the next day it will not. But if you can treat your mind as same way, when you have that success episode, when you don't have, if you have that same feeling towards your mind, then you don't need to have that kind of effort. So only thing you need to understand, the mind is like that. It is like a stubborn child. It is like that. So if you are going to control it, it will get more and more stubborn. If you just understand it, it will calm down very quickly. So just understand that this is the mind. This is how it behaves. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not good. Sometimes it is so calm. Sometimes it's so entangled with thoughts and other things. So it is the mind. I don't worry about it. As long as if you know that the mind is entangled with something and it is formatting or manipulating your thoughts, because you are taking those thoughts as yours. The part of the blame goes to you because you are the one who, the mind has thoughts. There is no sea without waves. The mind has thoughts. Anyway, thoughts are there. But what we do when the thoughts comes, you claim it as mine. It is my thought. So as soon as you claim it as mine, then it come like a serpent.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to practice. Whatever the thoughts come, don't accept it. While you are doing practicing,
thank you.
Yeah, accept means you claim it as mine.
Yeah, that's really helpful, Venerable. Yeah, I think I need to be very truly lazy and just accept things.
Truly lazy,
as
yes.
you said. That sounds good, Venerable. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you. Thero Sarana.
Thank you, Samantha, for that valuable question, and thank you, Venerable, for your guidance. It's been very enlightening and answered lots of questions for us. So thank you so much. Much merit to you, Thero Sarana. I will hand back over to Namantha.
Thank you and much merit to you, Lushani, for guiding through the Q&A session. And thank you and many merits to Venerable Manu for excellent and in-depth answers and guidance on how to tackle the things we face in the path of mindfulness. I would like to bring the program to a close because we are running out of time today. I would like to associate all the merits gained with Venerable Rohini Manu for participating in our session today and for representing Nissarana Forest Ministry, and also for providing us with much valued and insightful guidance and advice on how to tackle mindfulness, especially through the talk as well as the question and answer session answers. We would wish you all the best of health and long life, and also quick progress in the path of mindfulness, and wish that you will flourish in this journey of mindfulness. I would also like to associate and share merits with the Most Venerable Bhante Udayarikama Dhammajiva Mahathero, the Chief Abbot of the Nissarana Forest Monastery, for insightfully requesting this program to be structured in this manner. Furthermore, although he could not participate in today's session, we would like to share all these merits with Venerable Bhante Homagama Dhamma Kusala Thero for building up this program from the very beginning. And I would also like to mention and share merits with all the wonderful organizers of this program who have contributed to structuring and who are contributing currently to maintaining this program. And may they all live mindfully and gain many benefits of mindfulness. I would also like to thank all of you who have joined today's Zoom session through Zoom, and also those who would have joined through the live stream over Facebook, and share these merits with all of you, and wish that your own path in mindfulness be fruitful and hope that it will bring you many benefits. The program will continue next Saturday at the same time. That will be Sri Lanka 1 p.m. As a timeline for irrespective of wherever you are located geographically. And then I would like to wish all of you a happy and mindful week ahead, and hope to see you again in the next week's session. All right, thank you very much, everyone, and I will end the Zoom session now.